Okay, this is a pretty wild game to talk about. This is the equivalent of Nintendo releasing Super Mario World, which launched on the SNES, and then releasing it in a modified port on the NES. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're taking a look at Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Master System. Sonic was originally released in June 1991 for the Sega Genesis in North America, and this modified port hit the Master System in October of the same year, making it the last officially licensed Master System game released in North America. This version would then later be ported to the Game Gear in December of 1991. So that's a lot of Sonic for 1991. With that out of the way, let's jump into the game itself. For the most part, this is a fairly faithful port of the Genesis hit. You play as Sonic trying to stop Robotnik and rescue all your furry friends. Sonic has the ability to jump, run really fast, and turn into a ball to knock out incoming enemies. You can also jump on their heads, well, most of them anyway. If Sonic collects rings, it protects him from enemy attacks, so you think of it sort of like a health meter. One hit from an enemy though and you lose all of your rings, and getting hit with no rings means game over. You can also die if you fall into one of the many bottomless pits. Now, that's where the similarities actually end, as the core gameplay has been changed quite a bit in order to accommodate the Master System's more limited hardware. Instead of blistering speed with tons of loops and twists and turns in the level design, this game follows a more traditional platformer where speed isn't always encouraged. As a matter of fact, speed can easily get you killed if you're not careful. You don't have the same degree of sight as you did in the Genesis version, so you need to slow things down in order to make calculated jumps on some of the smaller platforms. Now, don't get me wrong, this is actually a tremendously fun game, even if speed isn't really the number one aspect of the game. I plowed through the whole game in my first sitting in about 40 or 50 minutes or so, and absolutely enjoyed every minute of it. It certainly feels different compared to the Genesis version, and I actually really like that. In fact, it feels like an entirely new game. If you reach the goal with 50 rings, you're awarded a bonus stage, but unlike the Genesis version, you don't actually get a Chaos Emerald from completing the stage. You simply get rings and extra lives. In order to get hidden Chaos Emeralds, you need to search each level from top to bottom, because they're actually hidden within the levels themselves. There's one stone hidden in each zone, and there are 3 acts per zone. The third act, though, is always a boss fight against Eggman. I really like this aspect of the game because it forces you to learn the ins and outs of each level if you want to collect all the emeralds and get the good ending. And that's pretty much all she wrote for Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System. The gameplay is similar, yet different to the Genesis version, and is really its own game. If you're a fan of the series, I recommend you hunt this one down, as it really is quite unique and feels a lot different than the Blue Blaze you're used to. I should point out that the North American version of the game is exceedingly rare and sells for hundreds of dollars on eBay. The European version is significantly less, and wouldn't you know it, but it works on the North American Master System, so go hunt down that version instead. The game's also available on the Wii's Virtual Console, and the Game Gear version is available on the 3DS's Virtual Console. Whatever you do though, I highly recommend you go check this game out. While it's different, it still remains really, really fun. This is a great platformer.